Hello, everybody. Angelo Batio for another installment of No Boundaries. I'm going to wait till people get online till we can see. Hey, Cynthia. This is the part of the show where we do the shout-outs. Cynthia's here. We're going to get a lot of other people really soon. So I'm going to just riff out. Hi, Cynthia. Who else is online? Oh, there's a bunch of people coming online now. Okay. I'm going to just play a little bit. We are talking about phrasing today. Okay, yeah, we have a lot of other people. Yeah, I'm going to just wait a little bit. Hey, JD, how are you? Broccoli. JD's a good friend of mine. I see Roxana. Hey, Denny, how are you? I see Jenny. There's Tanya. Hi, Tanya. Fernando, hey, how are you, man? Yeah, there's a lot of people coming online now. Hola. Yeah, hola to you, too. And let's see, who else? We're going to wait just a little bit more, okay? Hey, Anita, how are you? Freddie, there's a bunch of other people. AJD, yeah, what's up? Everything's up. Everything's good. Okay, let's see. We're almost there. Now we're closing in. You know, it's the holiday season. Yo, yo, yo. No, in this season it's how. Okay. Anyway, what warm-up exercises do you do when your hands are really cold? I do the same ones that I show on Speed Kills. I always do. Yeah, I'm doing great. Okay, yeah, we have a lot of people online. Hello, Roxana. And let's see who else. So, yes, Joey and Robert. The three amigos are here. Hello. Hello. Robert does not talk. Hey, Ken, how are you? Steve, hey. Iowa, yes. Iowa's a cool state. I was going to say cool city. I didn't mean that. I'm just reading so many names up here. Okay, it's time to rock. I'm going to play a little bit. Okay, now, let's see. There are a lot of people online now. I think I saw Brett. Hey, Brett, how are you? Okay, I want to talk today about phrasing. Now, just come on over here in the UK. I love the UK. I've been to, one of the things that's happened, with COVID and then, a couple of years ago, I spent literally 40% of my life on tour. Touring the world. I spent about 25 plus years on tour. I was playing 200 shows a year. A bad year would have been about 150 shows. And so I have seen, for example, I've talked about this before, but I've seen China 15 times. I've been to the UK, every country in the UK. I have been there so many times, I've forgotten. I mean, I've seen Big Ben. I've been to the Tower. I've been on a personal tour of Stonehenge. I've seen Avebury. I've been to the Roman baths. I mean, you name it, I've been there in these countries. And like in Italy, I'm going back on tour in Europe next year in April for 40 days and 40 nights. but I guarantee if it rains, it's going to rain notes from the shred. That's right! We're gonna tear it up for 40 days, 40 nights, ripping! Robert, do you agree? See, we're ready to rock. So, starting in April, right after Easter, I mean, we're going to Italy, Slovakia, you name it, Poland, all these different countries. But I've already been to all those countries, not once, but a bunch of times. And for example, in Italy alone, I have visited every region of Italy, from the farthest point in Sicily to up to Milano, all the way even up to Lugano in Switzerland, where you cross over from Italy into Switzerland. So I've seen so much of this world. You know, so when people talk about coming back to the UK, I want to do it. You know, once COVID's done, we're going to. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about phrasing. Now, I put on the phrasing, you know, that it's a rock and metal context because, you know, if I did this, you know, I mean, you know, it's jazzy stuff or like. You know, there's all sorts of ways to phrase, but let me tell you, in my earlier years, I always think about this as like Conan the Barbarian. If you ever watch the Conan movies with Arnold Schwarzenegger, by the way, I love Arnold, and he talked about in the early years the Age of Steel. James Earl Jones, you know, this is CNN. And so when I heard that, this is CNN, James Earl Jones has this voice. He was one of the actors in the Conan movie, and he was the main, you know, Conan was the main guy, but James Earl Jones was the guy that portrayed the person that Conan really wanted to kill. And you know, and the whole movie was based on, but he talked about the Age of Steel, which is the earlier days. And then he talked about making a command where he could make a person jump off the cliff, and that's real power, son. And so telling Conan. So I think of myself as the Age of Steel when I was younger. And I think now I have so much more control. But let me tell you something that I just learned about phrasing. A lot of metal guitar players, especially metal guys, when you have this heavily overdriven sound, just my song that's called 2X Again. I use an overdriver on the entire thing. There's no breaks. Oh, sorry, let me try it again. Sorry, some text message just came in. It ruined my train of thought. But do you see what happens there? I mean, it's a great song, I know. You know, or like this. Like Rainforest. I love that. Just when I came up with that song, I came up with the rhythm first. I went. But see, what I did back then is I didn't use the phrasing that was inherent in these songs. So when I got a little more, I mean, I've done 15 solo albums. So what I did later is I went. That's a song called Intermezzo, and it's on my Intermezzo album. But the point is this. I said this before in an earlier live stream. when people say, dude, like, no, Joey, you're not. See, Joey wants to talk. I'm telling you, I live with this 24/7. Joey thinks he's the star. Now, because the shows, when I on here every week, we have thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of views, and then it goes on others, streams, and so anyway, Joey has got an ego problem. Now, me, I don't have this big ego problem, but I've got this. Listen, I'm the star of the show. It ain't you, it's me. Me. This. It's all me. See what I mean? This is what I deal with on a daily basis. But then Robert, he's like the voice of reason. See, he's held a guitar pick for most of his life. So he just shuts up and says nothing. So this is what I deal with. Now, getting back to phrasing. Phrasing is an interesting concept. And this is the thing that I want to ask people out there. I want to, now we're in a culture where, we criticize the past, or if somebody from the past doesn't live up to our exalted standards of the present, we want to knock them down. And I want to tell you guys something that I think is going to happen in the future. I'm going to be a prognosticator here, but what's happening online with everybody screaming and yelling and being so vicious and rude, I think 20 years from now, the cancel culture of 20 years is going to say, can you believe these freaking idiots in the year 2020 being the way they are? Can you believe that they were this rude? See, it's symptomatic. I'm not like that. Why do you think I don't argue? Like I said last lesson, I don't argue with stupid. I'm not the smartest person in the world, but what I know, I know. And I don't judge you. Do I criticize anybody? No. But, and do you think that it's cool to come like to a page and criticize an artist or criticize somebody when you go to that's their house. And so this is something that what I found with teaching and why I don't respond so much online, because I got a quick mind. I've been doing public speaking for 2.5 decades. So I've been hit with questions that would blow an average person's mind. That for me, it'd be like, hey man, no big thing. And I'm quick. I think of a lot of responses in my head about how I could really flame somebody. I don't like to do that. It's not my nature. So let me explain something about phrasing, because whether I talk about chord sonorities, meaning major, minor, augmented, diminished, whether I talk about something that's complicated, make it simple, there's always going to be someone who writes this 9,000-word essay on why it's not right. But if you are in my world, which is music and music theory, don't mess with the man. I know this stuff. And so let me tell you something so simple about phrasing. Now, I've showed this in another live stream. This. A simple major scale. Going downwards. In other words, a descending major scale. Now, does that sound musical? No, it just sounds like a scale. It's nothing, it's just okay, it's something, Joey played it. So, all I can tell you is this. This is a very interesting idea, but it's correct. And it's so simple that it blows some of these purist minds. What is phrasing? What exactly is phrasing? Melody and one other thing. 1 and 1 is metal 2. Rhythm. Okay, so you have a simple scale that you play, descending, which means downward. Now, I showed this before, so this is not the first time I've showed this, but sometimes you have to add to this. All you have to do is add rhythm, 2 notes, and you have phrasing. So what is phrasing? It's 2 simple parts, notes rhythm. So you have notes that create a melody, but a melody is not this. You need rhythm to create a melody. So I'm going to play this. I'm going to add rhythm. So simple. So you have riffs like, okay, I had to do it because someone's gonna go, hey bro, you like playing Smoke in the Water, bro? Like that's like a bah. Now the latest one was like, bro, can you play like Wonderwall, dude? Like Wonderwall rules, man. Oasis, like Oasis. What's an Oasis? Like in the desert, bro, where like sand everywhere, dude. But then you got like this Oasis with trees and water. Like hopefully they have some brewskis too, bro, because that's like a true Oasis, man. That's like the cool. That's rad, dude. So I had to do that. But anyway, when you add rhythm, it's everything. And here's the thing that I've learned, like in a rock and metal context, like just take something like Hendrix. That's a phrase and all along the Watchtower. Then it goes. Then he finishes it up. So it's kind of like two parts. One part. And then the second time around he plays, I love this riff. He goes. It's a great riff. And so what he's doing is he's just combining notes with rhythm. Now, I'm not saying melody with rhythm because a melody comes from the rhythm that you assign to each note. And see, that's where, you know, if you think of any great riff, you know, like, see, then he stops and stop. So in other words, there are pauses. Now, what I do is I make it a lot more dramatic now. Just my song Intermezzo. And then I had the rhythm go. Now, I use the 7th string on this, but I'll play the rhythm on 6. Remember, it's down a whole string. What I learned over the years, space, the final frontier. Watch as Michelangelo Batio Enterprise boldly goes where no shredder has gone before. Okay, anyway, the point is this. To add phrasing to your solos, you have to have rhythm. Rhythm is everything. You know, one of the things we used to make a joke about, you know, early hip-hop stuff is like, I mean, I like all kinds of music, but there are three basic parts to music. 2 + 2 is metal 4 minus metal 1. 1, what do you have? Melody. 2, harmony. 3, rhythm. Okay, so you have 3 things that involve basic music. We used to say in hip-hop, they take 2 of them away. It's all rhythm. And so what happens is, you know, and that's just the thing that we used to say. Now they use a lot of, you know, chords underneath. Even Eminem, you know, you hear these really cool tracks underneath. But the point is this, that when you add rhythm to notes, you create melody. And there's no better example than this. Especially in this time of year with the holiday season approaching, it's going to be Christmas next week. There's Hanukkah. If people don't celebrate that, even people who are atheists or agnostic, this is a time of being, we used to be with family. Now with COVID, obviously, people have, including myself, have really, curtailed our holiday activities. But the point is this: when you are thinking about rhythm, think about space between what you're doing. There's a thing in music, like for example this. Beethoven's Fifth. Now it's not the right key, but or so all I have to do is stop. And that's what I was saying about the Conan thing, that the early days in the age of steel, I just kept sustained. I didn't ever stop. But then as I got more sophisticated, especially in the writing part of it, I stop. So when people say, what is phrasing, because, they throw that word like, like the phrasing, bro. The purists, the elitists. And I'm not a big fan of all, oh yes, don't you know who I am? Don't you know, like, we're the Cavendishes. Say Toby and Penelope, or Toby and Penelope Pendergast. It's like, shut up! It's one thing about acting like an elitist. It's another, and I don't mean that in any other way of that, oh yes, I know more about music because my ear is so refined. It's like this exalted status. I am above you because I'm so intelligent. And what I think about this is that, first of all, as a teacher, who cares? Talk all you want. Shut up and play guitar. Play like I played in Speed Kills. Play it. Shut up. Don't talk about it. Don't prognosticate. Shut up and play. Like Zappa said, shut up and play your guitar. And I do. So I play all the time. But when it comes to phrasing, it is a very simple concept. You put notes together and you add rhythm to those notes. If I went, it took somebody like Beethoven 250 years ago, it's hard to believe that's when he passed away, but he's still so vital. It's the rhythm of it. Or just this chord progression. Or how about my song Rainforest? I could have played a Phrygian dominant just going. But it took somebody like Yngwie. The way he phrased his notes, it made his style. Or me in the song Rainforest. Or in my song Gotta Run, which I wrote with the singer Tom from the band Hollow. One more time, show them what we're made of now. See, I went. So you had an interesting comment. Now, I didn't write that, Tom did, the singer. But I wrote, gotta run, gotta run, gotta run. I had to hit the high note there. But the point is this, that phrasing in songs, I mean, like when you hear like Sting, da 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 da, like, okay. Like da 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 on the fields of don't. You know, it's such a great combination of notes mixed with rhythm. So if you get anything out of this lesson today with phrasing, it's a very simple concept that sometimes, you know, if you ask, you know, people sometimes, what is phrasing? Look at, you know, make up some big phrasing, two things, notes, rhythm of those notes, that's it. And so that's one of the reasons that my programs are so successful. I mean, Metal Method is killing because it's an important concept. It's a difficult concept, but it can be reduced to simple words and simple, straightforward direction. In other words, what is this? You know, how do you sum this up in a few words instead of, you know, anybody can put 1,000 words together and say, it's like, you know, anybody can do that. Anybody can use 1,000 words to describe something. How do you describe the wheel? Very simply. How do you do it? How do you describe phrasing? How do you describe what are the 4 basic chord sounds in music? See, that's what I did. I said major, minor, augmented, diminish. That's it. And all, you know, no, that's not it. There's like you add like blah, 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 blah. Well, yes, that's you. See, here's the problem. They're right. But this doesn't answer the fundamental simple question. What is the basics? What is down to the ground, to the bottom level of this so that you can understand and build your playing under? So anyway, I wanted to talk about that because I think phrasing is so important. And in my music, it's all over the place. I mean, just like where I play this in No Boundaries. Now, I've never said this before, but when I play that, when I played this part, like ba, da, 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 I actually got chills because you know what it reminded me of? That sounds kind of funny when, like when Moon River, wider than a mile, I'm crossing. I can't even sing right now. Like crossing in style someday. And so when I love that flatted fifth. You know, it's like there. You know, it's like an emotion when I hear. And then they go. And then they hit these chords underneath. John Williams. It evokes an emotion, like when you hear the Harry Potter theme song, or you know. That's Bewitched. But do you notice notes and rhythm? And that's really what I wanted to describe from this. Now, I know this has been, you know, a crazy year for a lot of people. And myself included, I've had every single tour that I had booked canceled. So, but we're almost over this. It's the holiday season, and if I can say anything, hey Mark, how are you? If I can say anything about this, I've really enjoyed doing these lessons, and I've always liked to help people. I have, but I also realize there's another thing though that's more important. And you'd say, what's more important than helping people? Helping yourself. I have a motto that you can't be good for anyone else unless you're the best for yourself. So I make sure that if I'm overwhelmed with things, and I'm so busy right now, I've always been busy, and especially now, there's just so many projects in the works that I take time for myself. And that even means sometimes getting away from guitar. Like I saw this picture, you see the recent picture of Steve Vai not shaving and all that. See, to me, I think that's great. I love Steve Vai, and he's been super successful. But to me, to not shave or to look kind of grungy is not my style. And to me, it means that for me, not Steve. Steve looks amazing. But for me, it means I'm letting myself go and that I'm not paying attention because, see, little things equal big things. Little things like, if you get lazy around the house, if you're home a lot and your house is messy, or if you get lazy, stop brushing your teeth, or you just stop taking a shower. I mean, it happens. You're like this year has been the longest year ever, and it's flown by. How does that one work? How does that work? But everybody, it's, look at this year. It's like, ew. If a year ago, somebody would have told me, yes, you're going to have a worldwide pandemic and everything that you've ever known before is going to stop. I'd be like, you're out of your mind. You're out of your freaking mind. And so, but it happened. We had like this, century, 100-year event. Everybody's blindsided by this. And so it's affected virtually everybody on this planet. But, I had to look at it and say, okay, well, this sucks. But what's good? What's good about this? What can I do to make myself feel better about all this? And so this is the thing. There are a lot of people that do things for other people. But for example, when you get some calls, sometimes they go, man, anything you need, dude. Anything you need, bro. Whatever you need, bro. I'm there for you. But a lot of times it's not really for you. It's for the person saying it. It's like they feel better about themselves for having said they'll help someone out. Because I actually had this happen. Somebody said that to me, and then I needed their help. And I called them out. And you know what happened? Dude, I can't, bro. I'm working like that. Dude. There's like 9,000 excuses why it couldn't be done. And, I realized, I'm a student of history. I'm a student of human nature. And I'm a student of the world. And so, I look at this stuff, and sometimes it's okay. It's a lot of times it's okay for you to tell somebody something else to make you feel better. But I always thought you need to be the best you first before you can be good for anybody else. Because if you're not good with yourself, how are you going to be good for someone else? It's really difficult. Now, and it's just like, when I was talking about phrasing or playing guitar, it's easy for anybody to talk. Shut up and play. And if you want to hear me doing so much playing that'll make you crazy, go to metalmethod.com and order one of my 13 instructional programs. It is filled with a lifetime of knowledge that I use. It's not do as I say, not as I do, or I make these rules for everybody else but not me. These are things that I followed my whole life. And what is that thing attached to my guitar? Oh, somebody asked this question. This is the MAB string dampener. What it does is this. I'll give you an example. When you have open nose, it's like a fret wrap. All it does is block the strings, but all it does is a major thing because it allows you, it's like a fret wrap, but it's a better idea. We're giving Robert a break. What it does is it blocks extra string noise like a fret wrap, but the cool thing is a fret wrap cannot go past that. Well, it can on this because this is a non-locking trem, but if you have locking trems, it can't do it. And so, and all you need is to, it's got like almost like piano dampening felt. It's a felt pad. You just put it down. You can flip it up and move it out of the way. And the cool thing, it's a Chromacast product, which is one of the companies with Sawtooth, Chromacast, and then the retail outlet, GoDPS Music. So you can order it for literally under 20 bucks. And it's amazing. And I've used this on a lot of albums. Some big guitar players have bought these from me. And I used to manufacture them myself with my company, but then we were just getting too many orders. And so I had to move it to an outside company that could fulfill those, and that's Chromacast. Now, I've talked about Metal Method. This is one of my signature guitars. This guitar lists in the $250 price range. And I was talking to a music store owner about a week ago, and they were freaking out about Sawtooth because they said, we're selling $700 Charvels that don't even have the features that you guys have for hundreds of dollars less. I'm going to just say it right out. We're just better at doing it. That's it. You know, I mean, I've taken my experience with design. The people at Sawtooth and Chromacast, they are brilliant designers, but they're brilliant at manufacturing. And when you have people that are that great in business, that have a passion for it, and are musicians that love it, you know, because I make a joke that when you see some music stores run by musicians for musicians, to me, it means I play guitar in bands my whole life, and I'm like sick of trying to make it a music, so I'm gonna like start a store, man. And like the same amount of energy went into that store as went into trying to make it, and it didn't work either way. And so, and I don't mean this to degrade or say anything negative about anybody, but what I'm saying is this, that there's a phrase, business acumen. And when you have the skill to put this together, where you really have your business side together and you're passionate about it and you're creative, that's when you can come up with things. That's when you can be a Steve Jobs. And so, because he was passionate, he was highly intelligent and motivated and super creative. And we have that with Sawtooth and Chromacast. They're just great people to work with. Now, also too, I want to say this, you know, happy holidays to everybody. If you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. If you celebrate Hanukkah, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. You know, I'm not a politician. I'm not a religious, you know, I don't preach anything about this. I just want everybody here that's watching, be happy. You know, my dad had a great saying. Let me pick this up. He said that, son, it doesn't matter if you're the most famous person in the world or you're the richest. He said, be happy. Be happy. And you know what? At the end of the day, I can look in the mirror and first of all, I own everything I do. Second of all, I can honestly say I'm happy. Not everything goes 100% for me. But, you know, you control what you can, and what you can't control, you say, hey, man, you just deal with it. So anyway, phrasing. What is phrasing? Notes, rhythm. Go to Chromacast. Go to Sawtooth, my signature guitars. This is the best guitar on the market in this price range. We have a lot of my signature guitars. Even my new double guitar is going to be available. The retail store, GoDPS Music, has a fantastic app. I'm doing so much music that's going to be released very soon. That's why, you know, people say, well, shut up and play. check out my other stuff. I play all the time. There's no talking, only playing. But I want to say this. Thank you to each and every one of you. We are upgrading my video setup. So by next year, which is only weeks away, I'm going to have a magnificent video setup where we're going to be doing cross streaming and high definition platforms and everything. Do you see the black carpeting there? I am slowly turning this part of my studio into a video soundstage of death, of doom. This will be the video soundstage that rocks. Anyway, I'm Angelo Batio. I'm Joey. That's Robert. Have a great holiday season, a great new year, and I will see you soon. Bye.